Good morning, Sterling Storytellers. I hope everybody's having a great day. This is Teddy Hernandez from Kansas City, for those of you I haven't met yet. And I am so happy that you are part of this journey with me. I'm looking forward to meeting so many of you at conference, really in just a few short weeks. So hopefully I'll get to meet all of the Sterling Storytellers. If you don't have it on your calendar yet, please get it on your calendar. We're going to head to Nashville and we are going to have a great time. And we'll talk more about it, but in a later video, but just know that we really want you to get it on your calendar because you don't want to miss the fun that we all have when we're together. The purpose of today's little video training, and it will be short, this is really for those of you who are brand new. Perhaps you've been with us for maybe under a year and you're still kind of trying to get your business up and going. Maybe you've been with us and you're kind of consistent and you're doing what you want to do, but you're ready to take it to the next level. Or for those of you that we like to call restarts. So those of you who are consultants, and maybe you came out of the chute strong and you were ready to go when you signed and that box arrived and you were ready to go set the world on fire. And then life got in the way, kids, activities, taking care of elderly parents, maybe a health-related situation, maybe your full-time job. Whatever it might be, things happen, things get in the way. And sometimes that causes us to pause in our poetic business, and that's okay. That's the beauty of poetic and really the beauty of our industry. If you have to hit the pause button with your corporate career, you're out usually, right? You usually have to determine if you're going to stay or go. With this industry and our business with Personally Poetic, you can decide to hit the pause button, take care of whatever life situations come your way, and restart. So we're going to call this restarting your Personally Poetic business. So I had the opportunity of sitting down with a person I love a lot. She's a great consultant, and she needs to restart her business. She was really excited, really passionate. She actually sponsored right out of the gate a friend of hers, and she's awesome. She's incredibly bright, intelligent, awesome, fun person, perfect for Personally Poetic. But life got in the way. She's got children. Their needs came, crashing at her this school year. And the timing just wasn't right for her to start her business the way that she had anticipated that she wanted to do. No problem, right? Again, that's the beauty of our industry. She's going to restart. So that's what led me to think maybe there's more of us out there like this. And so let's do a quick training and help everybody learn how to restart their Personally Poetic business to get it where you want it to be. All right, so let's get going. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So some of you may know, some of you probably don't know because some of you don't know me, but I came from a corporate background and I had never been to a social selling party, if you can believe it. I had never hosted one except for one, which I'll tell you because it was horrific. And I just really didn't know anything about this industry. I was not the person that anybody would have ever thought would have become involved in a direct sales business. I wasn't that prototype, if you will. I wasn't that person that bought a lot from companies that way, and I sure was not the person that you would have thought would have made it a lifelong career. So I'll let that be said. I did host one party. It was a debacle. I do believe that the hostess probably has a picture of me still in her office as the worst host she had ever had. I forgot I was having the party. I had been out the night before with girlfriends and didn't get home until late, and so I wasn't necessarily in the best form to be hosting a party. Everybody I had invited had also forgot, except for about 4 women from my church who showed up, which was awesome. However, I, again, forgot that I was having the party. So people are showing up, the hostess is there, everybody's setting up. I quickly got myself ready, put my house together, made it seem like I had remembered that I was having this pampering chef party. So as the woman is doing her apple coring display and, everything she was doing, which was amazing, making brunch pretty much for everybody, I remember sitting there and thinking, I would never do this business. Like, I can't imagine anything more horrible than going to people's homes, selling product, and especially with a hostess like me, which I was horrific. So that was my one and only party. And after that, I had pretty much said, this is definitely not my thing. And at the end of the party, when she said, would you ever think about doing this? Would you ever think about it? I think she was asking just because she was being polite and it was part of the script. But I answered, I'm like, oh no, this industry is just not for me. Sorry, thanks, and thanks for the apple core, and now you need to leave. So jump ahead about probably 15 years later, and a good friend of mine, Catherine Spencer Inskeep, you know her as KSI, we were college friends, or that's how we met. So 142 years ago, we met in Colorado. And Catherine was with Zapata. And what I was struck by, and what I really was interested in when she would come to convention here in Kansas City, were the friendships she had. She had this amazing community of women that she genuinely adored. She loved being with them. She loved her job. She loved the jewelry. And most importantly, she pretty much set her own hours, right? She set her days. She set her travel. She knew when she wanted to work. She knew when she wasn't going to work. Now I'm sitting there looking at my corporate life, which I was working 80 hours a week, lots of stress, high levels of stress, a huge team of people that I had to manage. I mean, you know, corporate life, right? You love it, but very, very stressful, very intense. And I'm looking at Catherine thinking, what does she know that I don't know? It was a very different experience talking to her about her jewelry business than it was the apple core lady, right? There was no connection to the apple core. But what I was sensing from Catherine was how much she genuinely loved her business. I, out of the blue, called her that night at her hotel and said, I want to join. I want to become a Zapata representative. And she finally finished laughing after about 5 minutes. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I said, I want to do what you do. I really do. I'm interested. This industry is interesting to me. That company is interesting to me. I love the jewelry. And you have a community of people that you adore and have fun with. I want that. I want that sense of community. I want that fun back in my life with my job. So, joined. Now, here's the part of the story I want you to really pay attention to. I was also the poster child, not only for being the worst host, horrible host, I was the poster child for being one of the best representatives and one of the worst within 12 months. So, I came out of the chute strong. I had a huge launch, probably, I don't know, $1,800 party, I think it was. I was talking to everybody. I was wearing the jewelry. I was selling. I realized quickly that there was a level, a leadership level I wanted to get to, because that's what I was driven by, right? That's what I knew coming from corporate America, is you wanted to climb the ranks. So that was wired into my brain. There was this awesome bracelet you got when you hit this leadership level, and I was going for that. So within a year, I had gone from never hosting a party except for one bad one, to knowing nothing about selling jewelry, to selling jewelry, to now going for leadership, which I made. I think it was 13 months, and I made leadership within this company. But here is what happened later. Once I hit that leadership level, I forgot what it took to get there. I forgot that excitement that I had because I got absorbed in my real life, right? What I called my real life. 5 children, a husband that travels all week. I'm on multiple boards, you know, full-time career still. I was still at corporate America. And so what happened is I became a very inconsistent and kind of a hobbyist representative. I didn't do what KSI had taught me to do. I didn't pay attention to my business. I was letting it kind of go by the wayside, but still hoping that somehow that business would take care of itself, right? Does that sound familiar? Like, I still had my cards, I was still wearing my jewelry, so I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting the sales that I thought I should have. Well, again, I wasn't doing what I was being trained to do. So one of the things Catherine told me very quickly, and this is a little tip I want to share with you, is you have to figure out when you're going to work your business. And you have to plan it. What I was doing that first year is I had the hours that I worked. I knew when I was in my office. I made the calls. I met with people. I did the parties. I knew exactly what I had to do to become, at that point it was called a star leader. So leader in the company. I knew what I had to do, and I did it. I did it textbook. But what was happening when I was being inconsistent with my business is I let my calendar get filled, and then I would find these little nooks and crannies, which quite honestly, there weren't that many of them with the life I have, but I was finding these little nooks and crannies to work my business. And guess what happened? My sales plummeted. My team that I had built to reach team leader was falling apart because I wasn't really spending time with them. And most importantly, the fun and the excitement and all the dreams that I had about that business were starting to go away because I wasn't doing what I needed to do to actually have the kind of business I wanted to have. So I also say I'm the poster child for being the worst representative consultant because I knew exactly what I should have been doing. I was trained to do it, but I stopped doing it. And so things kind of fell apart. So when I joined Personally Poetic, I made a commitment to myself, and I made a commitment to Lizanne and Patty. And I said, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go at this in a real way. I'm going to go at this as though it's my primary business, which now it is. And I'm not going to do the 2 months on, the 1 month off, the working an hour, the taking 2 weeks off, because I knew what that would do to my business. And I knew I wouldn't have a business if that's how I was operating, right? I mean, here I am. I'd been in corporate America 20 years. I knew how to run a business, but I wasn't doing it. I just wasn't doing it. So let's talk about restarting your business, or maybe jump starting. You might not even need a full restart. I know those of you that have reached out and said, I want to restart. I want to start over. I want to start. I know there's some of you that got the kit, the box 3 months ago, and you're like, Teddy, I just haven't done anything yet. Okay, that's great. So some may want to just start, some may want to restart, and some may just need a little jump start. Any way around it, some of the same tools apply to all 3 categories. Okay, so some very little bite-sized things I want you to do for the next 2 weeks. I'm not talking next 90 days, 120 days next year. Let's just look at 2 weeks. Okay, so 14 days. Here are some changes I want you to make and some things I want you to start doing for your Personally Poetic business. And let's just see if you can get some momentum going and if you start seeing the benefits to actually working your business more consistently. All right? The first thing, and I love it because it's so simple, we have these beautiful catalogs. They're absolutely beautiful. I did catalogs for 100 years and marketing materials, and I'm here to tell you this is one of the most beautiful ones I've ever seen. It's just gorgeous. It tells the story of our brand. It's not meant to sell the little widgets for us. We have to do that. That's part of our job. But what it's meant to do is entice our customers to look more and to get to know our brand and to understand the meaning behind our pieces and understand we're not like everybody else that's out there. All right? So catalogs are a must. If you don't have them yet, let's get them ordered. If you do have them, like if you're a new rep who has the kit and you got the catalogs, or maybe you ordered them and they've been sitting still in the cellophane wrap on your desk or wherever you have them, get them out. Make some labels, Avery labels, or you can even write on them. If you have beautiful penmanship, do that. Get your name, get your phone number, and your website address on there. If you don't want to put your phone number, that's right. All right, just get your name and your Personally Poetic website address on the back of those catalogs. Then I want you to sit down and make a list of some of the people who you think would just love to look at it. You're not asking for a sell. You don't have to go out there and be like, I'm going to sell this and I got to sell a bracelet. It's not that. Let's just take a breath. What I want you to do is send a personal note to however many people you can put on the list. So if it's 3, if it's 10, if it's 25, that's going to be up to you. But I want you to take the time to get a little personal note on the front of a catalog and just introduce your business to people who you think would be interested in the jewelry, but most importantly would be interested in supporting you with your new business or your current business, okay? So it's a little note. So mine might say something like, hey Jackie, so excited to share this catalog with you. Not sure if you know, but I am a consultant for a brand called Personally Poetic. I thought of you when I saw the pieces. I'm going to give you a buzz in the next couple weeks and see if we can set up coffee. Would love to know what you think. XO Teddy. That's how simple it is. Light, warm. It's a gift. I'm just giving you this little gift of a catalog to look at. I'm not asking for anything from you. As a customer, I'm not asking for anything of you. I'm just inviting you to look at this catalog. 2 weeks go by, a week goes by, whatever you want to do. Pick up the phone, text. If you're more comfortable, I'm a texter. So I would text Jackie and just say, hey, hope you enjoyed seeing the catalog. What day do you have free this week for coffee? I'm available Thursday between 9 and noon. Do you want to meet at our favorite Starbucks today? That's how you start. You meet her for coffee. What happens then? Very simply, first of all, you talk like a normal human. How are you? How's the family? What's going on? Just like if you were having coffee without Personally Poetic, that's what you're going to do at the coffee with Personally Poetic. Because we're all about the meaning and the storytelling and really knowing people and what matters most to them. That is our brand. That's the heart of our culture. So you're not going in for this big hard sell of, I'm going to go in and she's going to buy a cuff. No, you're not doing that. You're going in with a full intention of finding out what she thinks of the product. Now, if she says, oh, those honeycomb earrings, I love those honeycomb earrings. Great, let's talk more about them. Then you can go in, and if she's interested in buying, believe me, you're going to know and get the sell. But again, your intent does not need to be a hard sell. Your intent is, I'm going in to introduce them to the brand right now. You might ask for a gathering. If she says, oh, I love it, I love the catalog, I love everything about it. Hey, would you want to invite a couple friends here or at our favorite wine shop or your house for a little gathering, and maybe we can introduce this to more of your friends? Because right now I'm trying to introduce as many people as I can to Personally Poetic in my business. I guarantee that kind of approach wins over customers. It does. They don't feel like you're, pushing that, pushing this. It's not that. It is genuine conversation. It's genuine interest, and they're going to feel it. And those will be some of your best customers because you're being authentic. You're telling them how much you love this business and this product. They're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. Now, when you go to the one-on-one, that's one of the most important things you can do. You've got to have things for her to look at. Don't show up there with nothing other than just the catalog, which she's already gone through. I promise you, she's already gone through it. She's tagged it. She probably marked some pages. You need to give her something to play with. You really do. This is where I find people fall in love with our product, is when they actually see it, can play with it, enjoy it. This is a little Personally Poetic bag. I think it's $8 or $10 in our bag office. This is what I carry because I love the branding and it's just easy to toss in my purse. In that little bag, I carry pretty much everything I have on right now. These are my best-selling earrings, which I'm sure they are for you too. If they're not, these things sell by themselves when you wear them. I always carry my totem. If I'm not wearing it, that goes in. This is one of my new favorite pieces, so I always have a ring. Oftentimes, it will also be a piece from the Crystal collection. I might carry the ring from that. And then if I'm not wearing my Crystal cuff, it's definitely in my bag. Okay, so I have a few pieces that I either wear or I carry. If you're not wearing it, get it in here. If you are wearing it, find some other of your favorite pieces, okay? But always have a personalized piece, a customizable piece. Have a piece that you know people are loving so you can talk about it being a bestseller. And then have the pieces that you love because you're going to talk to them about why. So if it's a piece that you're like, I don't really like that or I don't wear that, don't bring it, because what you're going to do when you start talking about a piece that you genuinely love, it's going to come through. Again, the authenticity of your story is going to come through, and they're going to see that this product is so meaningful in so many different ways, okay? Take some jewelry. When you're sitting there with her, you get through the small talk, you talk about the catalog, what she thought, what she loved, what pieces. Say, I brought some pieces, thought you would enjoy playing with them. That's when the conversation really gets down to what makes us unique. The pieces are handmade in Bali. They're designed by Patty. Let me tell you a little bit about Patty and Lizanne, the sisters who built this business. Let me tell you why I love Personally Poetic, why I joined. Let me tell you some of the best sellers and why customers love these. And then let me tell you some of the pieces I thought of when I saw this catalog for you, okay? It's a two-way conversation. You're going to listen a lot, because if you listen to your customer and you listen to the person you're having coffee with, she's going to lead you in one of three ways. She's going to lead you in the, you know what, I do love those earrings. I want to get that pair. She's going to lead you in a, golly, I wish I could buy more things. I wish I could get this and that and this, but for today I'm just going to get this. That leads you into, let's have a gathering, because you're going to have some great hostess benefits and you'll be able to get everything you want. Okay, so there's that. It could also lead you into a conversation where she sees how much you love your business. Like I saw that in Catherine. Remember the story of how much I saw, how much she loved what she was doing? She's going to see that in you, and she may become a business partner of yours. She may say, you know what, I'd love to join you. Just like I did that night when I picked up the phone and surprised the heck out of Catherine with a, hey, I'm joining tonight. I think I'd actually already joined, and I was calling to tell her I'd already joined. So those conversations will lead you in one of three ways. You might, and this happens, just like when you go to a restaurant and somebody goes, do you want dessert? And you say no. The waiter doesn't fall down on the floor and start crying. The waiter was like, okay, thank you. Thanks for coming in. You may have a coffee and that person doesn't buy anything, says thanks so much for the catalog. Hey, love seeing you. When can we get together again? No mention of anything personally poetic. Do not be the person that pushes. But I told you how much these are and how everybody loves them. And are you sure you don't want them? Don't be that person. That's not who we are. Be the person who says, and the consultant representing our brand who says, I loved having coffee with you. Be genuine. Be authentic. You know what? If you don't mind, I'm going to keep you on my mailing list. Would love to correspond with you. I'd love for you to follow my Facebook page. Because you never know when you might have a gift need, or some piece may come out that really strikes your fancy, and I would love to be able to talk to you more about it. Typically, unless this person's just in a really bad mood, typically people will go, that would be great. Let's get together again. Or I would love to be on your mailing list. Thank you. I would love to be on your mailing list. Or, you know what, it's just not good timing for me right now, but you know what, I really do want to help your business one day, just right now is not good timing. That's fine. Thank you so much for even sitting down with me, talking, and let's get together again. Don't walk away thinking, well, that was a big fat waste of time. I just had a coffee with this person, spent this time, sent her the catalog, took the time to write a note, and I got nothing, no sales. That doesn't matter. Not every interaction needs to lead to a sale. Now, when it does, that's magical. But think about this. You're either restarting, rebooting, or kind of, rejumping your business. Right now, a lot of these interactions may be for practice, making sure you're not all jolty and jittery and crazy when you're talking to them. So look at it as an opportunity to just have that dialogue, to get your story down, to get your authentic conversation with customers down, to get the flow down, right? Because if somebody were to say, hey, I want to join your team, you don't want to be like, call for help. You want to naturally be able to just pick that ball up and run. That's what these one-on-ones deliver. That's what these things are meant to do when you're in one of those three boxes of restarting, the rebooting, or the rejumping your business. So if that person walks away and says, I want a totem, let's design a totem. And you sit there at Starbucks and over your latte, you create this beautiful totem and you have a $130 sale and you get in the car, you give yourself a high five because it will also remind you why you love this business so much. You went into Starbucks, you had a latte, and you sold $130 worth of jewelry in an hour. Not a bad day at work. And you got to see a friend. Think of that. How often do you have a business meeting where you get to sit down and talk to somebody who you know and hopefully you enjoy about big things in their life and the things that really matter? It's really a blessing. I always say it's an honor to do the job I do, where I just sit and talk to people about their lives and help them decide if there's something that I have that might help them draw more meaning to it. Okay, catalogs. Let's start with that. Get your little thing together. Get some of these catalogs sent out. Follow up. Get some calls made. Try to get a few one-on-ones booked. Starbucks, over wine, at your home, on the back deck. We're starting to get to be spring in some parts of the country. But try to get that done in the next 2 weeks. And then let's see where you go. So promise me this, in the next 2 weeks, you're going to get the catalogs ordered or out of the cellophane bags if you still have them in cellophane. You're going to get a carrier, whatever it is. If you want to order this cute little bag or whatever it is, could be something you have at your home, get that. Figure out what pieces you're going to keep in this bag. Get it in your purse or whatever you carry regularly. Get the notes written, get them sent. Most importantly, once you get them written, make sure you send them off. And then follow up with a phone call in a day or two after and find time, schedule time on your calendar, make the time to actually do those follow-up appointments, okay? It is a great place to be when you're restarting your business because guess what? Like I said, this is the only industry I know where you get to restart, where you get a do-over, you get to start over, and no one knows and no one cares. Your customers truly don't care that you're restarting. Rebooting, that's a great place to be. That means your business is going, it's, moving along, maybe not at the pace you had hoped. Reboot it. Just like with your computer. Turn it off for a minute, reboot, and guess what? Things move fast again. And then if you're really just a brand new rep and you're like, or brand new consultant, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just need to get going. I've had the box sitting here for a couple of weeks, like the call I had this week with someone else. The box has been sitting on her chair. She said, I look at it every single day. She said, I think, gosh, I can't wait to do that business. And I asked her, well, why haven't you started? Like, what's causing you just to keep looking at the box? And guess what it was? She didn't know where to start. She was like, every time I think I know where to start and I get going, then life gets in the way and 2 weeks go by and I forget where to start. So join her, join me, reboot, restart. Let's get going again. Get the catalogs, get the notes, get the calls, load up, and let's start sharing our brand with the people who we know really need it, because our brand is all about connecting. Our brand's all about community, and our brand is all about the heart. That's all you're doing. You're sharing your heart and helping to learn the stories from others of what makes their heart beat. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Message me on our storyteller page or private message me, whatever. Call me if you want to call me. But happy to talk to you or help you figure out different strategies to kind of recharge your business. Would love to help you because quite honestly, we're in a huge gift-giving time frame. I came from the world of Hallmark where we were kind of blamed for creating every holiday. And so holidays are a big part of how I think. But we have Mother's Day coming up. We have graduation, which is a huge season. And we also have a lot of wedding celebrations coming up. And then don't forget baptisms. Baptisms are a big, big jewelry industry. I don't know if you know that. But a lot of people like to do, like memory bracelets, things like that. Something to give to the child as a kind of a memory of that day. So look at that. You have some big holidays out there. All gift-giving holidays. Or gift-giving needs, if you will. But Mother's Day and graduation, don't take your eye off of those because it's a fantastic time to introduce Personally Poetic to your friends. All right, I'm off. You guys have a great day. Thanks for your time. And again, if you need anything, always reach out. Talk soon. Bye.